Hi, my name is Jessa Molyneux.
And I'm Jason Smith.
And we're Marketing Launch.
And today we're going to be breaking down Dr. Josh Axe's website, his rise to fame, and all those sorts of things. We're so hyped after just listening to Kendrick Lamar song. We got beef with Drake apparently, but let's dive in.
Yeah, you should listen to the song. On this podcast, one of the main things, we're really focused on the health and wellness industry, and we're going to be breaking down some of the success stories, looking at the gaps and opportunities for different websites that health and wellness professionals have online. And so if you're starting a new website or you're an existing business, just check out the other opportunities you have to grow your viewership and conversion rates.
Excuse me. So here's what's interesting. When I hadn't even thought about this, Jessa. When you go to Dr. Axe's website, anybody else that's a celebrity that's pretty popular is going to be right on the front. You go to Tony Robbins, you go to David Goggins and
Joe Rogan.
Anyone has their picture there. Where's Dr. Axe at? He's the face of the brand. He's nowhere to be found. And all I'm seeing is all these different articles. Now, I know that this has been a long SEO blog play that they've been doing, and they have driven all their traffic here in order to then take them to their Ancient Nutrition site where they sell the supplements. So this is interesting now. If you look at SEMrush and the amount of traffic they get, back in 2018, 2019, they were getting 22 million hits a month to their website. That's a lot of traffic. And it's down to 1 million now over the last few years. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure why this peaked.
One of the things that might have happened is that they raised $103 million at that time. They have over 100 investors, and so that was just the merger with Ancient Nutrition. That could have been a play, but beyond that, it's like once the hype happens, how are you continuously bringing that viewership into the?
How do you keep that at 23 million? And I'm wondering if, was he on Dr. Oz? Was he on some other media things to get that? I imagine they may have done a huge media push just to attract investor attention. Sometimes they will.
He's also one of the OGs, and he's just got a great story. Like his reason why his mom got cancer when he was in his teens, and he went down that journey of trying to help her, and he went through functional medicine. So his why, having that story is always really, really good for your brand. So if you have your why, there's also a section if you go back to the webpage, there is an about Dr. Axe, but it would be nice if he was on the front page.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay,
there he is. Yeah. It's got some carrots there. So you see he's kind of, got the health vibes coming in your face. So, when we look at this site, it's like, okay, you have all these people. You still got over 1 million people coming. What are the actions that you want them to take? And I guess Shop Now is right in your face, kind of. I just now saw that. I hadn't seen it. I've been to the website quite a few times, and it takes you to the greens. I know they're in all the stores as well, and that's actually where I bought their products before. They're great products. The reason I even bought their products and knew about them was because I knew that he had partnered with Jordan Rubin in this venture, who used to own Garden of Life and sold that for a large chunk of change back in the day.
Co-branded alliances. That's another opportunity if you have partners that you can align yourself with to access more market share. Just think about those friends, think about people you admire.
Well, and where was
well, if you go into the next thing we can look at, if you go into some of the blog posts, we can look at the ads that are there.
Okay, so one thing I noticed is when you go to a probiotic article and you scroll down, all I'm seeing is an ad for collagen and not a link for probiotics. I see nowhere to go to purchase the probiotics. So I would have at least a link saying, hey, we offer these probiotics, maybe a pop-up when they're 50% down the page, and here's a 20% off, anything to get them in your world, or some type of quiz about probiotics to grab their email.
Do you know, that's such a good point. And Dr. Axe really has positioned himself as the authority for functional nutrition, for supplements. And so if he's doing all the work and energy to get people onto that site, like you can look for Dr. Axe probiotics or whatever. And so people are obviously looking for that. But then it's like, okay, well, then how do you get them to the Ancient Nutrition site, to those probiotics that's going to really make a difference and make it easier for the user experience for that person to access what they need like immediately. Our attention span is, I think it's something like 6 seconds on a page. It might actually even be less.
Yeah, and so Ancient Nutrition site, it's nice, it's clean, gets right to the point. It's just, you know, your basic site for shopping. So, but I would love to see their conversion rates on here. How many people are coming to this site? Actually, let me plug this in real quick and let's see what we got here. So 9,700 people per month. Or no, sorry, 70,000. What I was reading there. So they were up around 70 and now they've dropped a little bit. So they're getting quite a bit of traffic. So if you're just converting, let's see what 2% of that, which let's say that's 1,400 sales per month times, I'm guessing maybe a $60 average. I'm just totally making this up, but
Also,
so that comes out to $84,000 in sales. Now, they also, once again, are in retail stores. That's where I used to buy everything. I bought online as well, but the vast majority of their sales may be coming from retail, and they always had some good deals.
yeah. Why don't you share a little bit about, you had that idea around recipes?
Yeah, so if I was trying to figure out how to promote these products, I would be reaching out to all the really popular chefs on YouTube, social media, influencers, those sort of things. I would send them product and say, make your best, or some of them may
Bone broth.
Make,
Well,
they may just
soup.
love free product. They may want to be paid. Who knows how you work that partnership, but they could probably come up with some really cool recipes. And now you just got in front of their entire audience. So there you go. Free nugget, Dr. Axe, you're welcome.
I mean, that's the other thing when you have such a large thing that you're pushing, like ecosystem growth and community growth is kind of like your best friend. So using like affiliate programs, maybe you give people, you could even incentivize them. Hey, you'll get, you have orders and shipping going out already. Hey, if you give me a recipe, I'll send you some XYZ. And that's a great way to also just connect with the people who love you and admire your brand anyways. So that was one. Oh, did you have something that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I was just going to pull up the socials because I was like, amongst his 1 million followers on Instagram alone, there's got to be some chefs in there. This is where his marketing team should really be just connecting. I mean, this is an easy way to connect and build a community, is to reach out to followers. I know there's a million, but
he even has looks. If you look at On My Plate there, I don't know if that's like a reel. I don't know. Just kind of look at that maybe for a second.
There's I'm blanking on the name of this Instagram tool that's basically a CRM for Instagram. I think of it, but I think that would be a great way for outreach. You may even have to automate some outreach, but obviously you don't want to just totally spam everyone, maybe send 10, 20 messages a day and just have that be a yearly process of just connecting with those people, start posting. I mean, I would even try and get people to come to a community.
Yeah.
Like spin up a circle community or in
a Zoom once a quarter. Like you can start to talk to like, what are people really dealing with when it comes to their health and wellness, and start to give people some tips on that. The other thing that I also noticed is actually on the website, like how are you connecting all of your socials? So that's another point that's really important. He's got such large followings like on YouTube, on Spotify, but like Spotify, for example, isn't on his website. His Twitter is not on his website. He's got something like 43 or 45,000 Twitter followers, but he's putting all this, Dr. Axe, if you're listening, you're putting all of this energy out already. So having those connected systems, because as a user, maybe I'm, I used to work in blockchain. That's all I use is Twitter. So seeing that right on the website will make a difference to the number of people that go to your website. And then that 2% of conversion rates increases because, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Math.
really where the newsletter comes in too, and that the community is, if you have a large email list, every time you post,
Mhm.
then you link to a piece of content on your Twitter feed or YouTube, or anytime you have a new podcast. It's such an easy way. We were talking about this with Joe Rogan on his
Yeah.
website. There is no way to sign up to get notifications when he has a new podcast launch. I would sign up, if I was a follower of his, I would sign up on the email list so I would get notified about every time that he put out a new podcast, and then also his tour dates. Maybe he's coming to my hometown.
He's got tour dates on there. Oh, you're
He's-
saying, but in the email.
newsletter.
Yeah.
Right, because how often am I going to his site to check it?
That's true. Actually, it would be nice. I mean, he's doing comedy tours right now. So if you guys want to laugh, go check out his website, because you can't sign up for a newsletter that goes to your inbox.
And Joe Rogan, I would probably do a SMS opt-in as well, because it's like you're sitting out,
Yeah.
you're having a drink with your friends, and you get a text from Joe Rogan. They're like, "Who's texting?" You're like, "Joe Rogan," but it's automated. Like, it's not really
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, but it'd just be kind of funny. All right. So moving on. So with conversion rate optimization, obviously the customer journey for Dr. Axe seems very fragmented. Now, they may have those segmented down, and that's their whole point, as far as like they want people to purchase and those sort of things. But I think it could be much, much more cohesive, much more tightened and buttoned up. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I think if you're spending all this energy anyways, why not use all the outlets? Like I noticed on Spotify, and maybe there's a reason for this, but some of the YouTube videos are on there and some of them aren't.
It's got 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Once again, though, let's see, links go to the Health Institute, which I looked at the numbers there. There's not very many people going to that. So, I mean, I would replace that with Ancient Nutrition.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to push the supplements, why not drive them there? And, he's giving such good information. It's like, I don't care if you sell me your supplements. Let me know about your supplements. That's why I'm following you.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to push that. I know everyone talks about like give, then sell. But this guy's been giving for such a long time and has a huge following. So
Jason, like I think we've covered thought leadership, because that's kind of the strategy that Dr. Axe has. We've also covered he's mostly focused on commerce. So it's like he uses the thought leadership website to push people to Ancient Nutrition. But then my question for you is, what do you think the top 3 things from everything that we talked about today, Dr. Axe could do, or the health professionals listening to our podcast could do to make their sites more cohesive?
First thing on his homepage, he needs to have a picture of himself. He needs to have a video sales letter talking about who he is, what he does, and how he started his company. I mean, I think it's interesting as an entrepreneur myself. Like, that's interesting. You raised that's a great job. You raised $103 million for your supplement company, and you're providing great supplements, great information. You're helping a lot of people. So I would really want to focus on more of that storytelling.
You have a great relationship with your mom, or you made a difference for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that was part of his story, right? She had some health issues.
Cancer.
And, yeah. So that's one, adding the newsletter to build the community.
It's at the bottom at the thing, and there is a pop-up.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't call to me like some other like Matt Gray, founder of OS, like that. That is a more buttoned up flow and system, and he'll bring you into the world with the master or the newsletter.
Well, the tagline of the newsletter will be like, grow your XYZ community by this, or it kind of gives you more information. So if Dr. Axe did that, gave you more insight on what what was in the newsletter. Like, that's the other thing. We signed up for the newsletter and then we're waiting for it because we wanted to add it to this review. But it didn't come right away.
Yeah. And so that's another thing. When someone signs up for your newsletter, they should get a confirmation email right away. Yeah. And so just something to note there, Dr. Axe team, if you're listening. So, but we're we're doing this to hopefully help the Dr. Axe, and we love health. We want to promote health products and health coaching, the health field, those sort of things. So that's why we do this. You know, those people can take the suggestions and implement them themselves. If they have any questions, they can obviously reach out.
Epic.
We're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
No. Not for long, though.
Yeah.
All right.
For long. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.